It almost seems unfair for people who don't have this awareness and they go through life and they don't realize, right, that there are these rules and laws of the universe and things that they're unaware that is happening all the time that they need to fight against, right? And they just look around and say, okay, well, I'm just not that smart, or I'm unlucky, and that's why actually these two, the Dunning-Kruger effect and the imposter syndrome, it's interesting to me because I think a lot of people do suffer from that, and then they just stay in that state. They never actually change it, right? And you know me, I'm all about pushing the envelope, and I'm not going to just accept if something doesn't feel like it's working. I really take the time to break it apart and figure out a way to make it work. And I remember it was before my first book came out. It was like 6 months before. And I was like, I'm a fraud. I had this thought and like, is this really original? And by the way, it's semi-autobiographical. So I was even trying to talk myself into believing that this wasn't even something new and different. And then I realized that's just not the person that I want to be, and that I connected to something far greater. And the real thing is I looked around me to two people that were really, in my mind, they never actually, the thought that like the thought children have or teenagers have, that the world is theirs. They see something, they want it, and naturally, of course, it's going to happen. Not only is it going to happen, it's going to happen to the best the best possible outcome. And I thought, wow, I really need some of that audacity, right? I'm gonna try that, but instead of creating obstacles and challenges for myself, because I also believe, and that's part of the imposter syndrome. Not only do you over prepare and all of that, but you also set yourself up with the mindset that it's going to be difficult. It's going to be very hard. And through that stress and that great extra effort, that's how you achieve. And then I looked at these people that were really, that I respected and that were successful in the ways that they wanted to be. And I said, well, I'm just going to adapt that mentality, right? I'm not going to do this. I chose something else. And so, like I said, I'm much further along, but it is interesting when you flip this concept and you connect to the other voice, right? The one that is kind and that is good. And you connect to, of course, you are meant to have all of these great things. Then you tap into that potential of yourself. But it's really a choice.
Well, it's a choice, but it's also, and this is something that I hope our listeners will take in. It's also an awareness of how much untapped potential we have.